Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations, and welcome to our Thursday afternoon live. So, if you're here watching, if you will say hello in the comments, and thank you if you're watching the replay. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Once I'm sure that someone can see me, and so if you'll say hello when you come on, that would be great. So I have had a busy day. Or I say we because Jackie always helps. We have our local stamp club that is meeting with us here in Texas this evening. So I have 5 ladies that are able to come, and we're going to have a fun time making some cards. I haven't gathered with them in a while. If you follow me, you know that Jackie and I split our time between Southwest Missouri in the Ozarks near Branson, and Southeast Texas, which is our home state. So we have been in Texas for about a month now, and looking forward to seeing my stamp club that I haven't seen in a few months. And we haven't been able to meet, and so excited to get with them. So anyway, hi Pam. Hello. Thanks for saying hello. Okay, we're going to get started. This week, if you follow me on my blog and if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you know that I have been highlighting the wonderful More Than Autumn suite. It is on page 49 in the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. Let me go to big screen here. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, I don't know about all those little pieces. But let me tell you, I'm going to tell you how I deal with some of these smaller pieces here. That usually what happens is I end up losing the die. Hey, Karen. But I'll talk a little bit about that while we're creating. Hi, Carol. Thanks for tuning in. So anyway, it is just a fun set that is very versatile. It's you can just get the stamp set, or you can get the stamp set and the dies combo. I love these words that you can cut out and do different combinations. And I have found that I'm thinking you can go from now through the winter with this set and even beyond. So it's just fun. Hi, Taryn. Thanks for tuning in from Michigan. So anyway, we're going to be using that. And for the paper today, I am using this Take a Bow. I always want to say take a bow, but it's part of it coordinates with the Take a Bow bundle with these these strips that make these gift bows. But if you love traditional Christmas colors, this is a great paper. It has 4 double-sided designs, and there are 12 sheets of each one. Okay, so you have a total of 48. I'm going to show you them in real life here. So it's real red, granny apple green, and garden green. Okay, so we have this diagonal stripe, and then a dot red on the back. Then we have these leaves and berries, not necessarily holly, so that means you could use it anytime, all right? And then a diagonal real red stripe. We have this star print with granny apple green and garden green. And then there's a light version, it looks like, of the granny apple. So more like maybe the lemon lime twist, almost like a sea foam. It's just really pretty. And on the back, I love this dot with those 3 colors highlighted in the white background. We have a garden green and granny apple dot, not a certain pattern, just a scatter, like a splatter almost. And then this crosshatch that is really pretty with the different designs. So if you are making a stack of Christmas cards and you like to use basically the same papers, and you're a traditional crafter, traditional colors for Christmas, this is a great stack of papers. So, and we're going to be using that today. Okay, so let me get started here. I'm going to move this out of the way and my paper. So how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. It is pretty warm and sultry here in Southeast Texas. Feels like summertime still. Okay, we're starting with a base of real red. It's cut 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to score it in half at 5 1/2, and then I'm going to make 2 cuts. All right, the first cut's going to be at 7 1/2, and the next cut's going to be at 2. Let me show you the card we're making so you can make sense. Hey, Lisa, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so here's our card. It's a split front card or cut apart front card. I'm not sure about if there's a specific name, but isn't it so cute? It says this calls for hot cocoa, and you ready for a surprise? And peppermint. And I put a little candy cane in here, but I have to be honest. This candy cane is last year's peppermint candy cane, so I'm just using it for the project. I will switch out with a fresh candy cane when I give this, but I thought that was really cute hiding behind the panel there that we cut apart. Okay. All right. So let's get going here. 5 1/2. We're going to score. I'm going to line that up. Make sure I have my light gray scoring blade. Okay, and then I'm going to pull out the arm on our Stampin' trimmer and slide it down to 7 1/2. And then I'm going to cut. Okay, and then we'll put this aside, and then we have this piece left. And then I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. Thanks, Pam. Okay, so we have this little piece, okay, and then this 2-inch piece, and I can get my trimmer out of the way, and then we're going to start doing some putting together here. So here is my card front. There's that 5 1/2-inch score. So I'm just going to fold that in half and give it a good burnish with the bone folder. Okay. So this is the piece that's going to go up and down, okay, vertically. And then this is going to be the bottom of our card front and will be connected by this piece, okay? So first, let's go ahead and get some paper on this card, and I'll show you what I chose. So I have this pattern from the Take a Bow paper. Love this dot, incorporates all the colors. So this one for the top piece is cut 1 3/4 by 4. And that's going to be glued there. Okay. And then the bottom piece for this bottom card front is 1 1/4 by 4. So that's going to go right there. So let's go ahead and glue those on. So, you know, we have that piece that's going to go vertically up and down. And I tried to think about, do I do a white layer on that for my hot chocolate cup, or do I leave it just the red? I went back and forth, okay? So I decided that it just needed a little pizzazz in the background. So I thought, I'll use a piece of designer paper. Well, I tried this pattern again here, and it was too much, okay? So I looked through the stack, and I came up with this, which is like a red, but it has a pattern with that dot, and it's going to go perfectly for this piece, okay? So this piece is cut 4 by 1 3/4 to line this. And we're going to layer that up. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Center that. And then I'll show you how we're going to put it together in just a minute. I want to go ahead and get my basic white piece on the inside, okay? because it's going to have some stamping on it. I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping. You can put this piece anywhere along the top and the bottom, all right? You can go here, you can go center, you can go right, justify it, you can angle it. You could use a tag topper punch and cut a tag up here. So really, sky's the limit there. You just use your imagination and do what looks good to you. I decided to justify mine to the left a little bit and leave about 3/4 of an inch. I didn't measure. That's just where I decided I wanted it to go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get my interior, my card interior ready. So I knew I wanted it to say "and peppermint." Okay. So I have the "and" mounted on this small block. I'm also going to use that candy cane, but I'm going to move it to the side and get that mounted. And then I have the word peppermint from the stamp set. So I know that's going to go up here. I know I want it to be hidden by this top flap. So I'm going to, I need to get a cushion. If I can find one. Oh, goodness. Where did it go? I had it. Y'all, this always happens. It's like you have something right there and then it's gone. So I'm just going to use a piece of chipboard behind this instead of taking too much time to search. So I decided to stamp the word peppermint first and then put the "and." On this one, I feel like I moved the ampersand sign too far to the left. There's too much of a space there. So I'm going to try to move it over this time. So let me go ahead and put the real red and get peppermint inked up. Check it through. Love that it's photopolymer, and I'm going to come right here and stamp. Okay, and then let's see, I'm going to clean that off a little bit. Then I'm going to take the ampersand sign, ink that up in red, and then I'm going to put this one a little bit closer to the word peppermint. Okay, that works. Okay, let me clean my stamp. And I can move this back to the side, and I'll be using the candy cane in a bit. All right, so this is going to go on the inside. Let's close this red ink pad and get this lined up in here. So we're going to use a little glue on the back. And just put it there in the middle, giving an even border. So that's like 1/8 of an inch on each side, okay? All right, so now goes like that. I got a little bit of red ink there. Of course I did. I'm not going to worry about that. I can do something later to change that up a little bit, okay? I might stamp a candy cane there, but I'm not going to touch it right now. I'm going to let it be. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and put the front together. So I'm going to line this up. Okay. And do this. And I could wait and build up the top here, but I know what's going to go on this. When you're designing, sometimes, most of the times, it's best to not assemble the card or a layer until you're finished working with this, so that all of this isn't jeopardized. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I could get this on here and then just, oh my, and then I have to pull it off. So, but I already know what I'm going to do. But when I'm designing, I design this completely off first and then add it to my card. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals at the top and 2 at the bottom. And these are just our regular size Stampin' Dimensionals. And then you want to be sure this bottom is flush with the bottom of the back of the card. Okay, so I'm tapping it there on my desk, holding it in place, and I'm going to pull the protective paper off of the Stampin' Dimensionals. Pull this up. Oh, it shifted, so I'm going to straighten it up again. Hold it. Try not to move my hand. And I think I like it right there. Let me straighten. Oh. Okay, I've got the top secure, so I'm going to do the bottom again. Line it up on that line on my desktop, and then press it down. Okay? So now there's our card front. All right. It's fun card to do and very simple. Okay? All right. So now we're going to work on what's going to go, our focal points. So we can set this aside. We've got our inside finished with our stamping for now. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to work on our main image. So I have a scrap of basic white, and I am going to do some stamping. I'm still looking for that doggone foam mat. I promise it was right here earlier. Okay, so I'm going to get my catalog up. I can use that. So when you stamp with photopolymer, it doesn't have as much cushion as our cling mount stamps, the red rubber stamps. Thanks, Lisa. And so you kind of need some padding underneath that. And this table that I'm working on here has a little dip in it somewhere, and sometimes I find it when I'm stamping, and it's not a good thing. So I dropped my ampersand sign. We talked about those little stamps and die cuts that I'm going to address here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my cup and talk to you a little bit about some of these smaller images here, like the candy cane, the straw, the cinnamon, apple, pumpkin, gingerbread. So when I have a die, a stamp and die combination, and they're that small, I find it easier to just fussy cut it out instead of messing with the die. Just being honest. I mean, it's just, sometimes I struggle with those. Even though I use a piece of Post-it tape on it, sometimes those little bitty dies want to shift, and it's like, I'm not happy when I'm through. So I have use some of those little images on the cards and just cut them out, fussy cut them out. Okay, so these are my marshmallows for the top of the hot chocolate. So I'm just going to stamp those there. And now we're going to color this. Now, I want a candy cane in the middle here. So you could stamp this, die cut it, or fussy cut it out and then put it on here. I'm leaving this center white here, but I'm just going to stamp my candy cane directly on the label. And I angle it a little bit. Okay? All right. Let's get that out of the way. And now I'm going to do some coloring. So I decided to use Granny Apple Green. And I've got my dark. I'm going to start with. And just do some simple coloring. I'm going to do the rim dark. And then underneath a little bit. And then down here, the bottom of the cup, dark, okay? And then I'm just going to kind of make it dark over here on this side and along the top here of the label. I'm sure there's a specific name for that. All right, now I'm going to get my light pumpkin pie. Hey, Connie. And color in and kind of blend that dark in with it. Okay, so now we have that, and then I'm going to take my dark Real Red Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to color every other stripe. Okay, super cute. And then I don't do anything to the marshmallows. And then I use my dies and run them through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut those out. And when I do that, I put a piece of Post-it tape on it. I've already cut these out for today. So here are my two pieces. And then we're going to get our card. I'll save this and make another card with that. Bring this in. And then I start playing with positioning. I know it's going to say hot cocoa down here, so I'm not gluing anything yet. All right, that's going to go like that. And I think the marshmallows would be real cute with some Wink of Stella colored on those, kind of make them sugary looking, you know, with the sparkle. So let me move this, and I'm going to talk about my hot cocoa. So I've already die cut. I used a strip of Real Red scrap and cut it out. They cut out very nicely. And okay, so you see I chose red. Now that's not going to show up, right? So I tried to find out how, you know, experiment with how could I make a background so that would pop. So what I'm going to do is get another scrap piece of basic white, and I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to cut out around it. So I know that you could take like the dies and trace around them and cut them out. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. But to me, this is just, you eliminate that step, and it's just as easy to do it like this, I think. So I'm just getting, you know, and here you could use adhesive sheets and make a sticker out of this, but I don't mind using the glue. You want to be sure you leave space at the top, the bottom, and both sides when you're doing this. Let's put cocoa. Get that glue just barely running out. Try to get the ends. Flip this around a little bit, and okay, I'm going to try that. So I'm going to leave plenty of room around the side. So let's press that down, let it set just a minute, and I'm going to grab my paper snips. All right, so now I'm going to cut off some of this excess, leaving plenty of room around the words. And then what I'm going to do is just do a curvy cut around it where it has the white border. Just turning the paper and cutting, and make sure all your edges are rounded. And see how that just pops now? And it's super easy to do. So basically you're just leaving a cut border around the words. I'm going to cut off some of this excess so it's not so hard for me to cut. And just go around the word cocoa. And that's going to go like that. So this is going to determine where I glue the cup, because I do, although this can extend beyond the width of our panel here, it's got to fit. I want it to fit on this panel vertically. Okay, so let's look at that. And then at the top, we want it to say, "This calls for." So I have that stamp mounted. I'm just going to take a piece of the scrap basic white and my real red ink. Stamp, ink that up. Get a cushion. Making sure I don't have any red on my fingers. Okay, move this back out of the way, and then I'm going to fussy cut this out, but on this one I'm cutting straight lines. Okay, and then I'm going to cut across here, and I get pretty close to the sentiment because it's going to stand out on this red. See that? Okay, so that looks pretty good, right? Okay, let's start assembling. I know that needs to go there, so I'm going to put that on. I have all my little dimensional papers on my desk. So this is a great little bundle for very fun cards, okay? And you could make it for birthdays, you could make it for a friend, you could make it like see, this calls for like a celebratory occasion. Okay, this is, okay, tip. I glue these on first so that I know how far down to put the cup. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. Okay, and then come down right here beneath, center it, but put it, get it close to your "this calls for." And then this is going to go down here. Okay, so I don't want glue where it's going to get on the back, so I'm just doing on this right side of hot. Reminds me of hot, hot, hot for Polar Express. Hot chocolate. Okay, there we go with that. Okay, so what would be really cute on this, before we finish the inside, I want to be sure and tell you, our peppermint embellishments, they were available for maybe a few hours the day before and some yesterday, but after that free shipping promotion yesterday, they're out of stock again. And I don't think they'll be back to October. So it's okay because we have red and white twine. Okay, so first, for the embellish the outside, we're going to make a loopy bow. So I'll leave the twine on the spool, and then I start making loops. I leave my tails a little longer than I think I'm going to need them. and then just trim them off. So I'm going to go 2, and then I need my ribbon and scissors. And then I'm going to cut a piece, probably about 6 inches long. Hi, Catherine. All right, I need my reverse tweezers. I wonder if I have them here. I do. So I'm going to grab this in the center. And then we're going to tie this around it. So really you're going to end up having like 4 tails, but it's cute. You can trim them off what you don't need. This is going to hold it together. I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. That's ready. Here we go. So now I'm going to trim that. I don't like those that long. So I'm going to trim it. And then I'm going to use a glue dot, and we're going to put it right there. So let me find the glue dots. And okay, see, cute. Okay, so let's work on this inside. This is going to go here where it's hidden by our tag here. All right, so here I also want to put some of that twine. So I kind of push the candy cane down to the bottom, and then I'm just going to cut a single piece and tie a simple bow. Ooh, it's gotten hot in here with the lights, and then I'm sitting right by a window, and I'm telling you, it's still summertime right now. Tie that. Those loops are way too big for my liking, so I'm just going to pull that, and then tighten it again. So you may be wondering, when would you use this kind of card? Well, I think littles would love it. Like if you have your grandchildren or you have your children and they're wanting to have a fun movie night during the holidays, and you give them this little card and say, hey, let's do this. This calls for hot cocoa and peppermint. And I was talking to, last year I did a white Christmas party for my daughters and my granddaughters in Fort Worth, and I got us all matching t-shirts alike. And I asked Clara, the youngest granddaughter, the other day, I said, hey, Clara, do you think we should do another white Christmas party this year? And she said, oh, yes. But we have to make sure Mia can be here. So Mia is the one that lives near me here in Southeast Texas, and Clara lives and Lila live in the Fort Worth area. Okay, I want to be sure. So I thought this might be cute to give them for that. But I got to think of some different activities this year. Last year we made a snowflake ornament. So I need to think of something different for White Christmas party. And then we watch White Christmas. Actually, we just watch all of the singing and dancing scenes. We kind of fast forward. And I think on YouTube we found a version where it's just all of the singing and dancing scenes, just one right after the other as they go in the show. And of course, that's what the kids love. You know, they're not going to get the whole gist of the whole story, but so that was fun. Okay, there is our card. You don't have to put a peppermint in there, peppermint stick, but or a candy cane, but I thought it was cute. This would be a little difficult to mail. You could, but I would be afraid that the candy cane might crack. So this is more of a handout to me card, you know, where you hand deliver it or just give it with a gift. So what do you think? Aren't those colors so pretty? The traditional Christmas colors with that hot cocoa theme. Oh, I've got little pieces everywhere. So I'm going to show you a few other cards that I've made with the More Than Autumn set. There's those two. They're pretty close alike, huh? Okay, this one I posted a video on my blog this week, and I put a link to it on Facebook, and it's on YouTube. This is a really different way of using this stamp set. I didn't use any of the dies. This is from the Iconic Imagery Designer Series paper, and it's online only, isn't it? Yes. But this saying, "You had me at hello," from, you know, "You Show Me the Money," Renee Zellweger and Tom Cruise, that line. I thought I have to make a card with that, a little sweetheart card. So thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Taryn. So anyway, so I came up with this one. Make like, it could almost be a Valentine card, okay, or just a love note, okay. So we have that, and then I made this one this morning. This one I had a hard time bringing it together, but I really ended up liking how it turned out. This calls for donuts. I didn't use any of the word dies here, just the stamps, but I used the donut dies, the stamp and the donut dies for this one. This paper is online exclusive, and when I say online exclusive, it's available not in any catalog, but just in the online store only. And it's with the Cafe Latte Love suite, you know, with the little coffee cups and stuff. And this is what this paper is from. I thought it went well with the donuts. And then this one I posted on my blog this week, and my club is making this one tonight. Nothing's Better Than Pumpkin Spice. This is also from the Iconic Imagery Designer Series paper. I did put some Wink of Stella up here and the little whipped cream up on top. On this pumpkin, I could have just stamped it right on the label, but I ended up fussy cutting it out. Totally unnecessary, but it's cute. So that, and then I did the same technique here behind Pumpkin Spice where I cut that off. Thanks, Karen. And then on this one, you know, nothing's better than pumpkin spice except maybe you. So anyway, and I'll be making more. I just have been a little pressed for time, and Mia keeps telling me, "Honey, I need to come craft." So I'm sure I may have her over this weekend sometime where we can do some crafting. So, and I want to make some little Halloween wrap things that I usually leave for her to put candies in to hand out at school. Thanks, Karen. So anyway, be sure you check out the online store for all of these products. They're great, fun to create with. If you're not on my mailing list, be sure you sign up. There's the link there. That's where you get all the information about what's going on, and I give you exclusive project ideas in the newsletter and in the emails that don't go anywhere else. You have to be on my mailing list to see them. So, and you get a free online card class when you sign up. Okay. And let's see, I've got a comment here. Oh, yes, those paper pumpkin kits. I haven't done mine yet. Thanks, Carol. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate it if you would share it, like it, comment, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are watching on YouTube. I Next week we may be traveling on Thursday, so I haven't set. That's not going to be set in stone when I do my live. It may be more in the weekend, so I'll let you know. It'll just if you're on my newsletter, I'll let you know there, and also on Facebook and YouTube. I try to post that. Thank you, Pam. You too. So, anyway, thanks for joining me. This is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.